Hey, seekers, that's after your interviews, but no feedback, okay? No matter you use recruitment agencies or you directly apply, but how many times you think about that? You have interviewed but did not got any feedback, okay? Why? Do you know? Even though you just try to chase it, follow up, ask for them, but no response and they just ignore you, right? So this is mostly the fact. So in the last two videos, I also just suggest that you should follow up, okay, with the interviews. So you touch, and then I touch on something, okay, like follow up. But in tomorrow's videos, by the way, I want to help you more about tomorrow. But anyway, of course, the best thing is during the interview, by asking several questions, you will know or feel that whether you will get a chance to proceed or not, right? So follow up is another tactics or something that you need to do as well. But before that, I'll quickly go through why you failed an interview, but you don't know. Okay. So do you want to know? If yes, please comment yes. Okay. And then this, you think it's like an interesting topic or something, right? So, my name is Keith Lau. I'm your recruitment advisor. Today is April 20th, okay, 2020. It's day 20 of my 30 days program. So, I still have 10 days to go. Well, after all series and, interviews, training, so we will focus on HR process, salary negotiations, and other things until you're on board, okay? So, this is for the rest of the whole week. And again, this is live, so if you have any questions, please leave the comments and I'll get back to you. Okay, I'll answer it right now. Okay. So, yeah, just think about the follow-up will be tomorrow, and today will be focused on why you failed the interviews, but you don't know. Okay, the first thing is, I think your interview time is very short. Okay, usually it's less than 30 minutes. Okay, same as you meet your new friends, it's just common sense, right? If you're interested, you should want to talk more. You should want to understand more. Okay, you should want to, know more about the history, the work achievements, and all those things, right? So simple concept, but not because the hiring manager is busy. It's just because he or she may be losing interest. He may be, not thinking that you are good. So that is why the interview short is a problem. But of course, where you may say, hey, for HR, sometimes they do it for very quick because they are doing screening and they're doing like first round interviews. They just wants to know you, understand, some checkbox, and then pass it to the hiring managers. Then that's another case, right? But basically, I would say they have no decision power. So that's why they only forward the CVs to high manager, and it's not affect the interview time short or long. But if it's your direct managers, then definitely that is something that you need to be aware of. Okay, but of course, too long is not another good thing. Too long may not be good. Okay, so sometimes, okay, for such short interviews, they can only touch on one or two difficult interview questions, or maybe they ask you something so that you need to handle the objection or something, but you did not perform well and did not convince or impress your interviewer. So this is the point number two, why you failed and you don't know, okay? Um, of course, in interviews, you answer questions. Sometimes it's you don't know. Okay, that's fine. But sometimes you don't know the expectations and you can't meet their expectations. Okay, so it's different. People have different view. For example, you can say, for example, okay, for me, if I can work for 24 hours non-stop, no sleep continuously. Okay, that is, very, very good for me. Okay, but maybe, I don't know, your hiring manager say, I can non-stop, no sleep, okay, even no eating or whatever, 48 hours. So that I don't think your 24 hours is, good or not. Or they say, hey, look, this role, you don't need to work for 24 or 48 hours, okay? So they don't think that what you did in 24 hours is good or not. So this is just a quick example showing that they don't convince or they don't impress, even though you say your achievements is like something like that, right? They may have some judgment themselves. Okay, this is a quick, examples of that. Okay, so this is why I would say it's not impressed, and then you have to walk away or you find another role because these managers obviously cannot see your talents, okay, and you can't grow with him or her, okay. So number three, most of the candidates are stressful. I would say I've been, conducting more than 6,000 interviews, and I see that some of them did not prepare well, okay, or some of them over prepared, okay, and then they memorize something. So it also depends on the personality. For example, sometimes they are so confident, arrogant, or sometimes people are too shy. Just give them short answers or something. So the way that they answer is also a problem, okay. But normally, what HR do after the interviews, I just want to let you know my practice is I will call the hiring managers after the interviews, and then I'll ask, okay, what do you think about the candidates? Okay, and if they have time, of course, they will talk a lot, or they will give them their views, okay, and very detailedly talking about your goods and bads, right? But most likely they don't have time, right? So what I would chase for the answer is just yes or no. So straight answers, okay? If it's not, then that's okay. I don't need to do anything. But they say, hey, maybe I'll think about that, or let's finish all the interviews and then let's decide. Then I might also keep warm, right? But definitely for yes, then I have a signal from the hiring manager. So what I need to do, I will just call the candidates, okay? So this is what I usually practice, okay? So number four, of course, I think sometimes you're not so clear cut, okay? Sometimes, okay, maybe you need to finish all rounds of interviews before you decide whether you really need to hire this one or you don't think this one is good, okay? I understand that you don't need to compare with other candidates, and sometimes it's not sharp, immediate decision, maybe just few days or a week, okay? I really understand that. So the hiring managers would think about, would compare, and to see which one able to fulfill or meets the expectations and do that role, okay? So they will consider the answers from you, okay? Maybe the competence based in the questions, whether you can validate your performance or not, okay? Whether you really done something similar, which is able to help him or her and contribute to the company. So this is sometimes, okay, they might need to do, but again, this depends on whether you answer the question well or not, okay? And number five, I think another problems will be no reports with the interviewer. So you can't build a good relationship. Okay, perhaps or maybe you use what I taught you about. Okay, you start the introduction, you lead the flow, and small talks and build a relationship. But again, they don't. They don't think you're good, okay? They may think that, however, just at the end of the day, they don't trust you, okay? They don't want to build a relationship because maybe you can't answer some objections well or something. And also maybe you sometimes it's like, okay, they think you're not really active listening. That means you did not answer the way the interviewers is looking for. Okay, this is not like a proper answer what he or she expected. Okay, so this is sometimes you think that you are not able to you know to be like this is at the same page or something. So that's why they don't want to hire you. Okay. So number six, I was saying some people will have these problems, which is asking improper questions. I've been trying this, I think I don't know, one or two times, okay, and then my recruitment agencies just call me and say the reason why they don't want to proceed with me is because I ask improper questions. So that's why yesterday videos, and I also tell you 5 or 6 golden questions that you can ask. Okay, ask about the culture, people, and the team, something like that, and the company. So this is also important. So don't ask about any salaries or benefits problems, okay? And this is the way that if you ask improper questions, then they think that you're not good, okay? Definitely you're not someone that they wants to work with. So this is why you're failed, but they don't tell you, and they will not, of course, they will not give you some kind of constructive feedback for this, okay? So this is something that you have to aware. Okay, so our summary, all these kind of things would be interview skills problems. Okay, as I said, this is learnable, trainable skills, and then you can practice and prepare it. So just do something with your friends, mock interviews with your recruitment advisors, and happy to go to Google to list of questions and then prepare, right? But of course, if you need help from me or you need to talk to me, then definitely you can arrange 25 minutes call, quick consultations with me, or start with my career assessment program. So again, the link, okay, www.next-row.com. So every time we'll be leaving in the comments or in the videos, okay? So comment below, what do you think? Okay, say yes, okay, if you're able to follow me, or you can also relate it to some of your problems for this thing, okay? Sometimes I'll say nothing wrong with you, okay? Nothing wrong with the interview. They just don't hire you is because this is just they decided to find someone or something, right? So don't blame yourself not perform well and then you're stuck on, hey, is it I answered the question not very good, okay? Don't do that. Don't worry too much, okay? I would say this kind of sequences because they just have internal candidates, for example, or they, as I said, they find another candidates. So it's not your problems, okay? So think about some scenarios, okay? So first of all, throughout the interview process, perhaps you're the first one, okay? So at that time, no matter how good you are, they don't really know what exactly they're looking for and their requirements. Sometimes they need still to fine tune, right? So if they're the first one, then they may say, okay, I'll just wait for a few more people and then we design, right? So they keep looking and then somehow they find someone and they might forget you, okay? So that's the case. Another scenario would be, okay, if they met a lot of people already, so you might be the last one, but in between they just make up the mind of hiring someone and then they already start proceeding something, I mean, in terms of the HR or something. So that's why they think, okay, even you're the last one, they just wants to build relationship with you and then you don't have any hard times in the interviews because they just think that, okay, they already, confirm someone. So that is why they treat you as friends and then you're very good, but there's still no feedback, okay? So not your personal problems again, okay? And just because they make up their mind. Or another case is like, okay, currently economic situations, they're not able to proceed further with you, but they cannot explain to you because it's just because of hiring fees or approval problems. Sometimes the companies will be hiring a headcount approval before that, and once they got, confirmed all the salary and all those things, they need to seek for another approval again. So this may be stuck in this process and problems right here. So this is not a problem, and this is something about the economic situations, about the whole business thing. So it's not only controlled by the HR or hiring managers instead. So again, this is definitely not your problems, and they again will not explain to you because this is internal process. So that is something, some other scenario or cases that you need to be aware of. Okay, another cases is quite tricky and is interesting is for example, some large organizations or even government related bodies or banks or whatever, they do have a formal procedures for interviews. Okay, for example, they will meet both internal candidates, external candidates, because they promote the internal transfer and all those things. And however, they're now intended to promote someone from within. Okay, so they have to go through the process again and find internal candidates to meet and find external candidates to meet. Okay, you are good, external one, but you and I know that the internal guy will have more preference and higher chances because he is already in that position or acting in that positions, and he has more knowledge, more background, more experience with this project, and companies as well. So that is why they confirm with the internal and didn't proceed with you. So this all case could happen, okay, and this is why you can't have any feedback after that. Okay, so don't be disheartened, and remember what I said, recruitment is just a number of games, and what you need to do, find another roles, apply more, interview more, and that is what I say, that by gaining experience, by gaining more knowledge, and this is not your problems. Sometimes it just depends on the timing, luck, and chemistry with the interviewer. Okay, it may be smooth for this whole hour, but sometimes just one answer, one error, or something that I don't know what you did, but that is from the eye of the interviewers that is not good, then that's not good. Okay, it's quite subjective sometimes. So don't let your emotions be so negative. Okay, and just let it be. Okay, and or maybe sometimes it's quite funny. Is I've been trying this for I see some of the cases, a young manager, okay, maybe just promoted, and then you are more experienced with him or her for a few more years in that industry, and he or she can, it's not just don't wants to hire you because he think that he's just promoted and not everything, right? It will affect his manager position. So that is why sometimes, okay. So everything could be possible and could happen, okay. So don't worry. And by the way, I do have a master class for you, which is talking about secrets that HR and recruiters will never tell you. So it reveals a lot of secrets, and three main theme secrets will be like why you submit the applications but no response. So maybe not be your CV's problem. And secondly, why you interviewed but not any feedback and response, and even you trace them, nothing happens. So what are they operate behind the scenes? Okay, this is another thing. And thirdly is okay, there's a chance for you, maybe you can negotiate a better offer, or you know the signal for when they wants to hire you, but you missed it, right? So this is something that you can learn from the master class, okay? Because tomorrow I will just want to let you know what are the signals, okay? And how you can follow up with the interviews, okay? So if you have time, just go to the link to watch the masterclass, or maybe you can schedule anything, call or start with my career assessment program, okay? So thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. And the link for today is www.next-role.com and / masterclass secrets. Okay, masterclass secrets is one word. Okay, so thank you so much, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And please leave your comments below for your best or greatest takeaways. Okay, bye bye.